Hi, this is Mr. Mike again, and this is part 2 of my fossil video. So here is some petrified wood up here, and here's a piece that my daughter found. And you've got the really cool dark colors on one side, and you have also the lighter colors on the other. So it's kind of a neat piece here. And you can see here the bark of the wood. You can see it here too. So, and more pieces here, varying colors, and just the really nice, pretty colors of some how these fossils fossilize. It's kind of neat. So I go down here, and we've got nautiloids. We've got ammonites and cephalopods. The cephalopods are the straight ones, and the ammonites are the ones that curve. And basically these were squid or octopi-like creatures that had a hard outer shell. Let's see some of these. All right, we're going to move to trilobites. So once again, like this piece here, I was talking about how you get the snapshot of the ocean floor with some of these fossils. You can see the trilobite on there, but you can also see that there's corals and there are shells as well. Here's a piece with some trilobites on it, but also that long tube-like structure is a worm burrow, a trace fossil, like I said before. And we're going to shift. These are all trilobites in here. And I'm going to focus on some of these over here. Once again, thanking the people from the Hansen Aggregates. These are all fossils that I found at the fossil park up in Sylvania. And I'm gonna, one thing neat about trilobites is that they were the first animals to have this like hard outer shell. And also, they also had these really cool eyes. And if you can look really close here, you can see they're like fly eyes, where there's a lot of different eyes there. And what better way to be alerted to your presence but by having lots of different eyes, or at least parts of eyes. And there were 1,000 different versions of trilobites. So these are just quite a few here. I think this one's really cool because you can see all the spines on it. So once again, this was a unique adaptation of this animal so that these had to help in some way with his survival. And these are all from Oklahoma. We move along here. This is a cryptolithus trilobite, and this is a blind trilobite. It didn't have any eyes, but if you look in this front part, it's like has like a cow catcher where it would have a screen or a sift in the front where it would get materials in through there, and it would probably lie underneath the sand. It didn't need to see because it was always probably hidden under the sand. So another really cool fossil. Here's that Isotelus again. Once again, you can really see the environments that there are 3 trilobites on this rock here, and there also is a horn coral and a shell and a cephalopod. So it's really cool that you get that. If you're lucky enough, every now and again you can find some multiples. So we have a rock with 2 different kinds of trilobites on here, Pseudodecanella and Eldriops. And there's even one on the back. So 6 trilobites on that rock. These are from Russia. I did not find these. But as you can see here, just like some of the other animals, Their strategy to survive was having their eyes on the top of these eye stalks. And, you know, just like snails or some other creatures, it could probably be underneath the sand. It could put its eyes up above and see predators. One thing neat about trilobites, too, is they had the unique ability to enroll. These are called rollers. And trilobite basically could roll up into a ball and hide all the legs and antennae and stuff, the soft parts, and protect himself here. So when they're rolled like this, we think that, you know, they were in danger, and that's how they protected themselves. So, and move along. Here are some gastropods. They're snail shells. So a little bit different than the ammonites, where you see that it's rolled on top of it. It's not rolled through the center of it. So gastropods are snails. So a little bit different than the octopi. So we're moving in to crinoids. Crinoids are called sea lilies. They exist today. They're extant. Extinct means something that died away. Extant means that it's still around. So these are still around. And the cool thing about crinoids is their resemblance to a flower. That's why they're called sea lilies. So they had this calyx, which is the center part here, the head, and then they had arms that came out, and those arms collected, you know, debris and stuff in the water and fed it in through a mouth. And they had a long stem that actually ended into a holdfast that held it to the ground. But they could move. They can move on the ocean floor, so it's kind of cool. Going down to look at brachiopods. Brachiopods are lamp shells. They're a very common fossil that you can find all over the place. I do have quite a few of these. Here's some corals. These are called horn corals. Obviously, they look like horns. So just different variety of corals. All right, this is some plant material. As you can see, there's all kinds of leaves here. The really kind of neat thing about the Carboniferous is that you find these fern leaves. And what is neat about it is that today we just have low-lying ferns, but back in the day, back in the Cretaceous and before, they had trees that that were fern trees. And I have some more over here. So, but these fern trees, you know, they had actually seed pods. I have a seed pod over here, right there. I have some amber. All right. Here's some more of those leaves. You can see the fern leaves, but these were from a tree. Now there were varieties of these ferns that were the ground type. The ground type kept going, but the tree went extinct. I have fish. There are 3 fishes on here. They're on each on a different layer. So 3 different species. But these died out, and with the volcano going off periodically, they would fall to the bottom of the lake and then get covered, and then more fish would fall to the bottom of the lake and get covered. So yeah, all 3 fish are on different layers. So they all died at different times. Here's some more fish. These are from Wyoming. Here's some of my dinosaur material. Over here, this is all from Glendive, Montana, and this is these are pieces of turtle shell, As you can see up in the upper left here, I've got one with a rib on it. So turtles cannot come out of their shell because their ribs are fused to the shell. So they cannot ever leave. Limb bone from a turtle. Vertebra, the backbone from dinosaur. I've got some ribs over here. Triceratops teeth. Fish vertebra. I've got, this is part of a Triceratops skull, the frill. You can see, if you can see there, they have some grooves in it. That is from the veins and arteries that would take blood up to where the skin was directly on the frill. So, pine cone. I've got a oviraptor claw. So oviraptor was like a velociraptor, except it was more like a bird. It had a beak, and it had a crest on the top of its head. But this is the toe claw. You can see I don't have the end of it. I just have the back end. So, and I'm going to give out a really great shout out to the Beisch family. This is where I found all their stuff was on their property in a dinosaur dig. And Marge gave me this. And this is part of a tree. You can see that it still has the knot in it. And it also has the tree rings in it. So, petrified wood from Montana. So, alright, more dinosaur stuff. Here is that femur. This is part of a turtle. This is the vertebra to hadrosaur. There's a vertebra to a triceratops. This was my very first fossil that my uncle gave to me when I was a kid. Got me into this. More turtle shells. These are actually models that a good friend of mine, Bruce Moan, makes. Really cool. He makes them for museums. Very talented. Down here we got some horse teeth. More bone. See, you can see the texture here of what I look for when I find a bone. So the bone has this spongy texture because blood gets passed through your bones. They're porous in nature. So when I'm looking for a bone, I look specifically for this texture. And here's more of that right there. So, more ribs and vertebra. Here's some of the things I found in the Carolinas. I have a whole bunch of shells here. And then down here, these are all kinds of vertebrates. The one in the back are dolphin vertebrates. And the ones closer to the front are fish and shark. Shark's ones are very flat. The bones are fish. More ribs. There's a finger bone to a whale. Some ear bones from whales. Get some larger vertebra to whales. Some whale bones. That bone back there is part of the vertebra towards the neck, and there's a nice big scratch, if you can see, where something tried to eat at it. There's another vertebra to a whale, and another one. And I also have some fossils up in these cases here. These are all shark teeth and whale teeth. The whale teeth is in the upper top there. And you can see the megalodon teeth, that megalodon tooth. The megalodon could get about 40 feet in length. So teeth got anywhere up to 6.5 inches long. So I got some makos up here. More teeth, but this is Cretaceous. So I've got mosasaur, which was a swimming reptile. I got some saber-toothed fish. Xavactinus was a fish that had many teeth like this. More shark teeth. What's nice is some of the shark teeth I find, they because they fossilize different minerals and stuff, different colors come out. So you can find blue ones and red ones and stuff. So that's really kind of cool. So this is part of the mouthpiece on the underside of a trilobite. So this is a very large trilobite right here. I've got more shells. And I'll talk very briefly about in paleo environments one last time. And the important thing to know is that sometimes these environments didn't work out really well. After extinction periods wiped out certain animals, animals didn't have the predators sometimes. So at this time, after the Cretaceous, this particular shell, snail, counted for like 90% of the life of at the time. So it didn't have a predator at first, so it had to, the earth had to finally like have animals that would eat it in order for it to get its population under control. And that's why we don't want invasive species in our environments, is because once these animals don't have predators, they can wipe out environments, and we can lose the natural ecosystem that we really like. So some trackways, another one of those trace fossils. So hopefully you've enjoyed this, and this is just a little view of my little museum. So thanks for watching, and maybe I'll make some more of these. So thank you. Bye.